far, far away, where the swallows fly when we have winter, there lived a father who had 11 sons and only one daughter, Eliza. Now, the children lost their mother early in their childhood, but their father always made sure that they were the happiest little bunch. They loved playing outside in the garden, and they sat under a wild cherry tree and looked at the wonderful picture book which their father had brought for Eliza from his travels. Oh, they were very peaceful and happy together. Until one day, everything changed. The church bells rang out as their father remarried, and the woman who became the stepmother to Eliza and her brothers was not a kind, nature-loving person. "My dear children, why don't you have some wedding cake?" she offered. But the children's plates were covered not with cake, but with sand. From that day, Eliza and her brothers knew that their stepmother must be wicked. More so, she must be a witch. Just 1 week later, she sent Eliza to live down in the village with a poor peasant and his wife, and before long, she made her husband believe so many lies about his sons that he lost all his interest in them too. "Fly out into the world like wild, ugly creatures without the voice," the stepmother told the brothers, and she shut the door behind them. But she did not harm them as much as she probably wished to, because you see, the earth put a spring in their feet as they began to run, and they suddenly took off into the air as 11 magnificent wild swans. They flew across the park, flapping the wings and twisting the long, graceful necks. Then they went even higher, near the clouds, and then far away into the wide world. Unnoticed, they flew over the poor peasant's hut where Eliza was to stay until she turned 18. But right then she was still a child, and she had no toys with her, so she had to invent a new one, an oak tree leaf. That one day fell on her windowsill. She made a tiny hole in it, looked through it at the sun, and imagined she could see her brother's bright eyes that way. Oh, she missed them so much! When Eliza grew up, and the time finally came for her to return home, her stepmother noticed what a kind, clever, and good-looking young woman Eliza had become. Oh, she had to come up with a plan to get rid of Eliza for good. "Eliza, my dear child, come here. I'm going to prepare you a very special bath." And she brought with her 3 wrinkled toads, which she kissed and dropped into the clear water, saying, "You sit on Eliza's head as she bathes, so that she becomes as unintelligent as you are. You squat on her forehead, so that she becomes as ugly as you are. And you, my beautiful one, you will lie against her heart, so that she knows no difference between good and bad." But when Eliza sat down in her bath, the 3 toads right away turned into red poppies just floating on the water. Eliza was too good for witchcraft to have any power over her. Her stepmother, in desperation, rubbed a horrible, smelly green ointment into Eliza's face and hair. "There, that will do. No one will recognize you now." And yes, because when Eliza's father saw her, he said in a shock, "Who is this creature? Surely this cannot be my daughter. Away with you!" Only the swallows and the family dog recognized Eliza, but they are humble creatures who have nothing to say. Poor Eliza had to leave home. Oh my dear brothers, you must have been sent away from home too. If only I could find you, but where do I even begin? She wandered through the vast fields and wild forests for the whole day, until the night came, and moss offered itself to be Liza's bed. Thank you. An old stump became her pillow. Thank you. And hundreds of fireflies made up a shiny protective blanket over her for the night. She laughed out loud in her sleep that night. She dreamed of her brothers. They were children again, and they were playing together and looking at her wonderful picture book. Suddenly, everything in it came alive. The birds sang and small animals walked out of the book to talk to Eliza and her brothers. Hello. Then with a flip of the page, all the creatures jumped back to the chapters to keep the book in order. Oh, the sun was already high when Eliza woke up. Oh, I must have overslept. Oh, good morning. Little Robin perched on her hand. Little Robin, can you hear the water splashing from the spring? I'm so thirsty. Shall we go and find it? Yes, you lead the way. Eliza followed the robin, and although the spring was surrounded by a thick bush, there was one place where the deer had made a path just wide enough for Eliza to reach it. Oh, thank you. What a kind, clever deer. Oh! Eliza jumped. What's this? What happened to my face? She didn't recognize her own reflection in the water. Quickly, she rubbed her brow, her eyes, untangled her hair, and very soon, a kind and clever girl looked back on her once more. Oh! Eliza jumped once more as she heard a twig crack. Someone's close by. Who is it? Oh, I hope I didn't scare you, my dear. I've been collecting berries. Would you like some? An old woman asked. Yes, please, replied Eliza. I am very hungry. Have you, by any chance, seen 11 young men on your journeys? I'm looking for my brothers, you see. The woman replied. No, I haven't. But yesterday I saw 11 wild swans. They were swimming in the river there, where the path slopes. It's a start. Good luck. So Eliza followed the river down to where it flowed into the open sea. And there, after a while, she spotted 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 white swan feathers amongst the seaweed. As she was picking them up, she suddenly felt a shadow across her face. And she looked up at the already setting sun, only to see a wedge of 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 white swans flying towards the shore in a line, one behind another. As the swans touched the ground, they threw up their feathers, and there stood Eliza's 11 brothers. Oh, I've missed you so much. What happened to you? Benjamin? How you've grown! And Anthony, the most mature of us all. We are forced to fly as wild swans during the day, said Anthony, the eldest brother. But when the sun goes down, we turn back into humans. So at sunset, we must always look for the firm ground, otherwise we would fall to earth or drown in the sea. And tomorrow we must fly away, and we cannot return to our homeland until a whole year has passed. That's the works of the wicked spell. But we've only just found you, Eliza. Would you come with us? Yes, please, replied Eliza. Take me with you. And they spent an entire night making a net out of willow bark and rushes. and they made it very large and strong for Eliza to lay down in it. Then when the morning came and her brothers became wild swans once more, they lifted the net in their bills and they flew high up near the clouds with a little sister flying with them. Steady! Oh, gosh. Oh, it feels like a dream. Oh, we're so high, I cannot look. Is that a ship down below? It looks like a tiny seagull floating on the water. Then a big cloud rolled up in front of them, and upon it Eliza saw, oh, there's a shadow of me and of you, all 11 beautiful swans. Oh, this is the most beautiful image I've ever seen. I only wish I knew how to set you free. Half of the sun was already below the sea when their feet finally touched the solid ground, and they landed by a cave covered with delicate green plants. Let's spend the night here, everyone. Rest well, said Anthony, the eldest brother. But Eliza couldn't stop thinking about how to help her poor brothers, even in her sleep. In her dream appeared the old woman who she'd met in the forest. Your brothers can be set free, Eliza, but you'll have to be patient and brave. Do you see this stinging nettle in my hand? It grows all over the cave where you're sleeping. Gather it, although it will burn your hands to blisters. Crush it to flax, spin it, and weave it into 11 shirts. When you throw these over the 11 swans, the spell will be broken. But remember, from the moment you start your task until you finish, you must not speak a single word. The first word you say will turn your brothers into wild swans forever. Then she touched Eliza's hand with the nettle, and that woke her up. Ouch! Oh, her brothers must have flown away for the day already. Right, there's no time to waste. Eliza began her work. Ouch! But each time she plucked a nettle, she felt a harsh pain on her poor fingers. Oh, she cannot stop until the wicked spell is broken. So she carried on working, and at the end of the day, one shirt was made, and she set out to work on another one, and another. That's it. She heard a loud horn and the barking of the hounds. Quickly, she bundled together all her precious nettles and shirts, and she ran back to the cave. Within minutes, a group of huntsmen appeared in front of the cave. Then a young man came up to talk to Eliza, and he said, "Are you all right in there? I'm the mayor of the town just beyond that hill. Please let me help you. I cannot leave you here all by yourself in this wild place." And Eliza, because she couldn't speak, had to go along. But don't worry, she was very well looked after. She was driven around the impressive sights and gardens of the town. Ooh, the historic churchyard. She was given clean clothes and soft gloves to heal her poor aching fingers. But nothing seemed to interest her at all. Then the young man took Eliza to her own room. And there, on the floor, lay a bundle of flax, and the shirt she'd already made hung beautifully presented from the ceiling. "I brought all your things. I hope they make you feel at home here," he said. Eliza smiled for the first time in a while, and the kind man was very happy to see that, as he was already starting to fall in love with the silent girl from the woods. However, at the same time, more and more people from the town started to gossip about the wild girl being a witch. That's it! Did you know the new girl is a witch? Yes. You might think that Eliza forgot her brothers because of all of this, but she definitely did not. Every night, she sneaked out into her workroom and she carried on, weaving the shirts. She'd finished 6 already. Oh no, when she realized she didn't have enough flax left to carry on. She remembered that some nettles grew in the old churchyard in town. Yes, so at midnight, she tiptoed down the deserted streets all the way to the churchyard, where she saw a group of witches gathered in a circle around one of the gravestones. They were dancing the nocturnal dances, waving the wands, and chanting the wild songs of the night. Anyone would think that Eliza was one of the witches, turning up in the churchyard that late, but somehow she managed to go past them and pluck a few handfuls unnoticed. Or at least that's what she thought. Someone did notice her, the night keeper of the mayor's grounds. "Now I have a proof, the wild girl is a witch," he muttered, then straight away went to the kind mayor and described to him everything he'd seen. Meanwhile, Eliza had almost completed her task. Only one shirt was left to be made. Oh no! Once again, she ran out of flax. She must go into the churchyard for the one last time and pluck just a few more handfuls. Only this time she wasn't alone. The night keeper and the kind mayor followed her there, and they saw Eliza disappear through the gates of the churchyard. And as they came in after her, they too saw the witches dancing on the gravestone and pointing Eliza in the direction of where the nettles grew in most abundance. Let the people of the town judge her, said the kind man, who was very sad to see his Eliza behave in a wild way. And the people did judge her. "Lock the wild woman away in a dark cellar until she confesses that she is guilty of witchcraft." Eliza was only given a bunch of nettles for her pillow and the burning shirt she'd made for her cover. But that was no punishment to Eliza. She could finish her work after all, and she had little helpers to do that, as tiny mice ran about the floor, bringing nettles to her feet, and a little robin perched by her window, singing at the top of his voice, cheering her on. Eliza's confession, and as she was brought out into the daylight and put on a wooden pedestal, her fingers kept twisting the green flax for the 11th last shirt, but still she did not say a word. Ah, there she stands mute, weaving her wild tools. The crowd scoffed at her. "Very well then, we will make you speak." And everyone charged towards Eliza. Oh, but before they could reach her, 11 white swans flew right down and made a protective circle around Eliza with their flapping wings. She quickly threw the 11 shirts over the 11 swans, who instantly became her brothers. The spell was finally broken. Now that I've saved my brothers, I can speak. I'm not a witch. I've worked very hard to break the spell of one witch, declared Eliza. But then, because she was so exhausted, poor thing, she fell down on the ground out of consciousness. She's telling the truth, said Anthony, the eldest brother, and he told everyone the story of the brave and wild Eliza and of the 11 wild swans. And as he spoke, every piece of wood that made up the pedestal for Eliza took root, and it grew into a great hedge covered with roses. Then Benjamin, Eliza's youngest brother, who still had a swan swing in place of an arm, as his sister simply ran out of time to finish his sleeve, he plucked one of the roses and he placed it on his sister's chest. She opened her eyes and smiled to all of her brothers and the kind man who apologized for ever doubting her, and he asked Eliza to marry him. She said yes, and the sky filled with hundreds of birds, robins, swallows, and swans too, as the church bells began to ring once more. And the earth kept on turning in celebration of the siblings' love for each other, and in awe of all the tiny helpers of nature, the deer, the fireflies, moss, the family dog, the nettles, that all together led to this story's happy